Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be going through 10 Beastmode fragrances. These are all long lasting, and the 10 that I'm going to go for I think are of very high quality. There is some inexpensive ones, there's some more expensive ones, there's a couple of designers on the list. I was trying to think of everybody when I was putting this list together. Yes, there is a lot more fragrances in my collection that I could have put on this list, but I chose these 10, I'm happy with them, and we're about to dive into them. Come in, chill out, put your feet up, let's do this. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Cologne, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today. That is right, 10 long lasting fragrances, and I think all of these are worth the mention, or they deserve a spot in this list. This is in no particular order. I think they're all fantastic fragrances. Like I say, a lot of these are of very high quality. They're all strong. They all smell great as well. I've got some strong fragrances that are strong, but I don't love the scent profile as much as what I love these. And that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of, yeah, it's all right to have a strong fragrance, but you have to enjoy the fragrance for starters to wear it. Plus, when you get a fragrance that's strong and it's of very high quality, like it's rich, it's smooth, to me that makes the difference as well. That is why these are on the list. But before I get going, if you do enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button. It is completely free, it doesn't cost you nothing, and press the bell because it will notify you when I drop a review for further notice. And plus, I have a code for Uniquely Luxury. I'm going to say it again. I don't get paid no money for giving you this code or for you using this code. This is just me trying to look out for you lot. If you're interested in any fragrances from the house of Uniquely Luxury, if you go on their website, you can put whatever you want in the basket, and to get 15% off, use the discount code Mikey-Coute23. That will give you 15% off. And like I say, I don't earn no money, no commission, nada. It is literally for me and you lot to save money on their website. And that is what it boils down to. I'm not pushing it on you, but if you're interested, take advantage of it. Anyway, we're going to get going. First off, I'm going to start with a boozy fragrance. This is coming from the house of Farmacia SS Anazita. Like I always say as well, I'm probably butchering that name. This is Whiskey Nobel. This is a fantastic, dark, boozy coffee fragrance. I love the way this smells, and it's very strong. You get big projection in the first couple of hours. Let me just show you the bottle. I'm going to spray it. I love the way this smells, the way this comes across from the opening to the mid to the dry down. This is a fantastic scent. There's not one part of it, and it is quite complex, and there's not one part of it that I think, I don't really like that bit. Sometimes people enjoy the opening of a fragrance, the mid, and sometimes when it gets to the dry down, some people are like, yeah, I preferred the opening, and vice versa. Sometimes some people prefer the dry down than what they do the opening. With this, or with all of these, I like them all the way through. Nice atomizers on these bottles as well. Oh, this is good. This is a manly fragrance. There is no doubt about it. You've got incense, Arabic coffee, orange flower, whiskey, bitter cocoa powder, styrax, oud, vetiver, leather, saffron and vanilla. Now, how does this open up? It opens up quite spicy, warm, but at the same time, there is a little bit of freshness up top coming from the orange flower. Now, with this, you get a little bit of a dirty touch, or this fragrance has a little bit of a dirty edge to it. And to me, I think that's coming from the coffee, mixing in with the orange flower, you do get a coffee aroma, but I think that coffee is supplying the spice up top as well. You also get booze. So it opens up warm yet fresh, spicy, the aroma of coffee, booze. Now, as it starts to settle, that fresh quality, so to speak, that you get up top from the orange flower, that soon dissipates, that fades out. But then the fragrance starts darkening up, the oud comes in, you get this smoky quality, you get this leathery undertone, the vanilla, it sort of gives this fragrance, the vanilla and the styrax give this a balsamic quality and that warmth that it brings. But with this, you've got the oud warming the fragrance up as well, which turns it woodsy, plus you have the vetiver. This is for a gentleman that is dressed up, looking smart. You're going to a posh cigar lounge. You're drinking a cognac. You're sipping on a whiskey, and you've got a nice fine cigar in your hand. This would be perfect for that occasion. You could make this your wedding day scent. To me, you can wear this on a day-to-day basis, but if you was to wear this to an office, I would do 1 to 2 sprays. But because of the fragrance, because of the way it comes across, I think it's better suited for occasions, because I guarantee you nobody else is going to be wearing this fragrance or smelling like you, and everyone's going to be intrigued in what you are wearing. Boozy, warm, spicy, woodsy, balsamic, a little smoky. The way the whole fragrance comes across, it does come across like it has tobacco in the fragrance, like that smoky quality. That is the leather, I think, mixed in with the incense. But just with the coffee mixed in and the oud, I get this tobacco-ish vibe from the fragrance. It's superb. Very long lasting. You can, I always say, wear what you want when you want. You can wear any fragrance any day of the week. If you love the scent, wear it. It doesn't matter. But for me, I would save this for occasions. Dressed up, events, weddings, cigar lounges, parties, and there is no doubt about it, it is a masculine fragrance. But anyway, that is Whiskey Nobel from Pharmacia SS Anazita. Stunning fragrance. Up next, I've got one here from the house of Montal. And no, it's not Arabian's Tonka. That could have easily been on this list. Honey Oud could have easily been on this list. But I went with a unisex offering, and it is called Starry Night. This is a great smelling fragrance, but it's very linear. There is not a lot of notes in this, and there is definitely not a lot of changes with it, but that doesn't bother me. I don't care if a fragrance is linear, complex, cheap, expensive. If I like the fragrance and the way it smells, I'm going to wear it. Nothing like that bothers me. I'm not a fragrance snob. If I think it smells great, I'm going to wear it. If I think it smells great, I'm going to review it and say it smells great. And if I think a fragrance smells like crap, sorry, but I'm going to tell you, my own personal opinion is that it smells like crap. And that is just how it goes. Not being funny, but this is my channel. And I always say honesty is the best policy with anything. And it doesn't change when it comes to me reviewing fragrances. Anyway, I'm going off topic. Back to Starry Night. Not bad atomizer. To be honest with you, they could have better atomizers on these bottles. But man, it opens up fresh. Right, you got Calabrian bergamot, Bulgarian rose, Egyptian jasmine, patchouli, white musk, and powdery notes. Now, straight away you get that citrus blast, but with this you get that Montel DNA rose. It's a little bit jammy, but also at the same time it is a little bit stemmy. With this, the jasmine adds sweetness, but plus the jasmine does give off a little bit of a creamy facet to this fragrance. But with all this, you've got musky edges, and the fragrance is powdery as well. It's like all the notes are sitting on a bed of powder. Even though it has a creamy side to it, it also has a powdery side to it. And everything happens nearly almost at once. The only thing really that changes is that bergamot slowly dissipates. The fragrance does warm up ever so slightly. The patchouli here is a little bit woodsy, but light woodsy. You get more of the rose and the jasmine than what I do the patchouli really, but the patchouli is present. It's not way in the back where you can just detect it a little bit. The patchouli is present, but the rose is one of the most dominant notes in the fragrance, along with the powdery notes and the white musk as well. It's a great scent. It's unisex. Some people might think it leans feminine. I don't. I think it's completely straight down the middle. I think if you enjoy rose in your fragrances and a little bit of jasmine, I think you'll enjoy Starry Night. It's a great fragrance, and this thing pushes. You're going to get 10 to 12 hours with it on clothes. It is on there for days. And you can pick this up now, I think, on Notino's website. This is not a sponsored review. In the UK, I think at the minute, Starry Night is £70 for 100ml on Notino's website. To me, obviously, I don't recommend blind buying things, but I think that is a bargain, to be honest with you. Because I think when I bought this, I think I paid about 120 for it. So it's dropped like 50 quid. To me, that is a no-brainer, but I've already smelt the scent, so I know what it smells like. But anyway, Starry Night, stunning fragrance, unisex, and very long-lasting. Coming up now is a very strong, fresher fragrance, I would say. To me, this is an all-year-round scent. That is my personal opinion. And it smells close to Creed's Aventus, Club de Nuit, Intense Man, Office for Man by Jeremy Fragrance. It's in that same vein or very similar to them fragrances. It is Afnan Supremacy, not only intense. This thing pushes. I mean, for a fresher fragrance, this is very long lasting. You only need a few sprays of this. I mean, one day I think I wore 5 to 6 sprays. Man, it was projecting for hours. It was on clothes for days. It is a strong scent. You can wear this to the office. You can wear it to the gym. You can wear it going out for drinks. Dress it up, dress it down. It's manly. You've got bergamot, apple, blackcurrant, lavender, patchouli, oak moss, saffron, musk, ambergris. Now, straight away, citrusy, fruity, fresh spicy up top. The apple does shine. The citrus is more, to me, the apple's a bit more at the front. The citrus is a little bit at the back, along with the spice. Now, as it starts to settle, things start turning woodsy. There's always a nice bit of sweetness to it. The oak moss and the patchouli do give this fragrance an earthy side. As this sits, or the longer this sits, it does warm up a little bit. That fresh quality never goes, but after a couple of minutes, it calms right down. And that is when the fragrance starts just darkening up a little bit. You get a woodsy undertone, the spice calms down. The blackcurrant gives this a little bit of bite. The lavender brings in an aromatic side. So it's fresh, spicy, aromatic, semi-sweet, citrusy, fruity, woodsy, a little bit earthy and a little bit musky. It's masculine, it's clean, it's definitely a brighter fragrance, it's long lasting. I wanted to get a fresh fragrance on this list, and for the price and the quality that you get, I think this deserves to be on the list. I believe that you can pick this up for about £60 in the UK for 100ml. It is worth the money. I don't care what anybody says. If you haven't tried this and you do like them DNAs that I was talking about, get yourself a sample, because this bottle is very long lasting. But anyway, that is from the House of Afnan. It is Supremacy, not only intense. I got it right. We have another boozy fragrance. Yes, that is right. Another boozy fragrance with whiskey in it. It is Coute from the House of Unique Luxury. I done a full review on this fragrance the other day, and I spoke very highly of it for good reason. From the presentation down to the juice quality, down to the scent itself, it is a fantastic fragrance. This bottle was sent to me. They didn't ask me to review it. They literally got hold of me, sent me the bottle. They didn't ask me to do anything. And obviously, I was going to review it anyway, because that is what I do. But I guarantee you, when this bottle runs out, I will be purchasing myself another bottle of Coute. I think it smells that good. This will always be in my collection. There is no doubt about it. But we're going to get onto the scent. I'm going to stop rambling. It don't take a lot for me to get carried away. You got whiskey, Davana, bergamot, lemon, agarwood, which is oud, caramel, negamartha, tobacco, amber, vanilla and sandalwood. Now, how does this open up? Very boozy. I mean, very, very boozy. It's strong, it's powerful, it's rich, it's dense. With this, there is a little bit of a citrusy quality, a little bit of sweetness, and there is a touch of freshness up top. Now, that citrusy quality fizzles out, a fruity quality comes through, and that is from the Davana, and it is sitting in the back because that whiskey note is still full throttle. But with this, you start getting a woodsy undertone coming from the oud. The oud here is not skanky, barnyardy, fecal, none of that. It brings in a woodsy aroma, I would say a little bit musky as well. Now, as it starts to settle a little bit more, that is when the caramel comes through. And the caramel is always lingering in the background. It gives off the smell of caramel, but plus it brings in a little bit of sweetness into the fragrance. The amber and vanilla give this a little bit of a balsamic edge. As it dries down a bit more, the fragrance then darkens up. The tobacco comes through, very smooth tobacco. It's a great, great fragrance. I don't know what else to say about it. To me, it leans more on the masculine side. This thing, 10 to 12 hours, it pushes. The first 2 to 3 hours, it pushes. And even then, like, you only need a few sprays of this. If you was to spray this like a normal fragrance, this is going to be so long lasting. Like, say if you normally do 5 to 7 sprays of a fragrance and you've done that with Coute, man, you're going to be projecting like a monster, and it does last on clothes for ages. Boozy, woodsy, a little bit spicy, tobacco, semi-sweet, a little bit fruity. It's divine. It really is. And that is Coute, coming from the house of Unique Luxury. And this is Extrait de Parfum. Now we have a really inexpensive fragrance. For 100ml, this is about £20 in the UK. And this thing is a beast. And I'm not being funny. Yes, it is cheap, so to speak, but does it smell cheap? No. It's a linear fragrance. But this thing is goodness in a bottle. This is a clone of MFK, Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Oud Satin Mood. And this is from the House of Paris Corner. And it is Ministry of Oud, Oud Satin. Beautiful fragrance. It is a rose oud combo done jammy. I'm going to spray it. Man, 1 to 2 sprays. 1 spray will do you. I'm going to spray this, and this is going to fill this whole area up. It is that strong. You're going to get 12 plus hours with this fragrance. The atomizers could be better. Oh, this is good. This is really good. You got oud, Bulgarian rose, benzoin, Turkish rose, violet and vanilla. Like I say, straight away, it opens up sweet, dark, rich. It's got this thick quality to it. The rose is there, it's jammy. The oud is there, it's not skanky or fecal. It literally brings in the aroma of woods, and it comes across ever so slightly smoky. I mean, very minutely smoky on my skin. With this, it's powdery. You do get balsamic touches from the vanilla and from the benzoin, and that is the fragrance in a nutshell. Sweet, jammy, dark, dense, woody, powdery, and a little bit balsamic, warm and rich. But it smells divine. I have smelt Oud Satin Mood, and I can confirm that they are very, very, very close. Like, if you enjoy that fragrance and you haven't got the money to buy the real thing, and I'm not taking anything away from Oud Satin Mood because it's a superb fragrance, but if you're on a budget, this will not let you down. It'll be on your clothes for weeks. If you wear a jumper for a couple of hours out and then you put it back in your wardrobe and you spray that on it, it's going to be lingering for weeks. It is that strong. You only need a couple of sprays. But anyway, that is Ministry of Oud Satin from Paris Corner. Beastly. Now we're going to talk about a designer fragrance. For me personally, I think this was one of the better releases of 2023. It is Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. I love the way this smells. This is fun, this is playful, this is sexy, this is gooey, sticky. Again, you do not need a lot of this. Oh, it's good. Straight away it opens up sweet. Right, you got lavender, mint, vanilla, benzoin, honey, tonka bean and tobacco. Straight away, loads of sweetness. But with this, it has a fresh-ish quality from the lavender and the mint. They do supply a little bit of an aromatic side, plus I think they tame down that sweetness a little bit. Yes, it's a sweet fragrance, but I think they tame that sweetness down by adding some freshness in. But with this, you've got vanilla, you've got honey, and the honey is what turns this fragrance syrupy. It goes a little bit balsamic. And the only downside for me for this fragrance is the tobacco. The tobacco here is very subdued. Like in the base, you can notice it in very small doses. So if you've looked at this fragrance before and you think, I don't like tobacco fragrances, I'm on the fence, you have nothing to worry about with Le Male Elixir. It's there, but it's just sitting way in the back, and it only comes out in the dry down. The tonka bean here does push in some extra sweetness along with the honey, along with the vanilla, but I also get, I would say, a cherryish aroma from this fragrance that once that it settles into the mid, I can faintly pick up something that smells a little bit like cherry to my nose, and that, if it is, that will be coming from the tonka bean. This is a great scent. If you want to wear a fragrance to a party, if you're going out to have a little bit of fun with the lads, if you're in college and you're going to like dorm parties, I don't know because I've never been to college, and you're wearing this, girls are going to love you. It is an attractive fragrance. As it settles, it gets darker. The sweetness does level out a little bit. It's a great scent. Very long lasting, 10 to 12 hours, on clothes for days. It is beastly and it's a great scent. That is Le Male Elixir. Now, this is a niche fragrance, and to me, this is, I think, an acquired taste, because before this come out, there wasn't really or any fragrances that smelt like this, and Quinton Biche done it his own way, like he always does. Such a great perfumer. Anyway, this is Ganymede from the house of Marc Antoine Bois. This is a stunning fragrance. Classy, gentlemanly, it's sharp. There is a clone to this that I'll show you in a minute, because this is more on the expensive side. I believe it's about £170 in the UK. But for me, it's worth it. I love this fragrance, I really do. Let me just spray it, read you the notes, and we'll go from there. Test strip. Oh, this is good. This is really good. Right, you've got saffron, Italian mandarin, Chinese osmanthus, violet, Aki Gallowwood, and Immortelle Absolute. This opens up fresh, salty, metallic, minerally, citrusy. The mandarin is popping up top, but with this, you would think that it is a salty fragrance. It has this ozonic aura about it, very fresh, but straight out the gate, you can tell that Ganymede is a woodsy fragrance. It's there in the background, and the longer it sits, the more woodsy it turns, and it always stays fresh. But up top, it has a sharpness to it, and as it settles, that sharp quality dissipates. Because of the way it comes across metallic, minerally and salty, it creates this sharpness to the fragrance, but that does slowly fizzle out. The osmanthus here does let off a little bit of a fruity aroma. This does go musky as well. Maybe that's coming from the Immortelle, and I think the Immortelle might be pushing in a little bit of sweetness into the fragrance. But overall, it's fresh, a little bit fresh, citrusy up top, spicy, metallic, sharp and cold, woodsy, and then as it settles, it turns a little bit fruity. That mandarin dissipates along with the sharp quality that you get, and it does kind of have a dry feel to it. And I don't know if that's the Immortelle doing that to the fragrance, but like, this is not a zesty, juicy, citrusy fragrance. It's more on the dry side of things, and I think that is the Immortelle that creates that. Now, if you're looking for an inexpensive version of Ganymede, try Celestial Amir, this fragrance right here. It doesn't have the longevity of the OG, but it is still a strong fragrance. You're going to get 7 to 8 hours out of this. The mandarin is not so noticeable up top, but the overall scent profile in the air and on skin, it is there. Like, if you done a side by side, you would be able to pick out the differences. But if you sprayed them on skin separately, you would think, yeah, that smells a lot like Ganymede, and it does. But obviously the quality is better with Ganymede, the projection and longevity is better with Ganymede. So if you want that, stick to the OG. If you haven't got the money, try Celestial Amir, because it will get you there. But it just hasn't got the finesse as what Ganymede has. But anyway, this is a long-lasting fragrance. You can make this your signature scent, your wedding day scent, your party scent, going out, clubbing scent. It has this smart, manly vibe to the fragrance. It deserves to be on this list. It's a stunner, long-lasting, and that is Ganymede. Now, we have another inexpensive fragrance on the list, and this is coming from the House of Lattafa. Again, this is £20 in the UK for 100ml, and the longer this has sat, it has got so strong. It was strong in the get-go, but now it is very strong. It is Amir Al Oud Intense Oud, this fragrance right here. If you're looking for something to cut through the coldest of days and you're on a budget, try this fragrance. It's a linear scent. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh, this is overly complex and it's the best thing I've ever smelt. But the reason why it's on this list, because it smells good, and for the money, it smells even better, and it is strong. And I wanted to put a couple of inexpensive fragrances on the list, and hence why this is on the list. This is you do not need a lot of this at all. You've got saffron, nutmeg, geranium, woody notes, labdanum, oud, vanilla and leather. Straight away, this opens up dark, woodsy, smoky, dense. Now, with this, you do have some sweetness. The vanilla is always there. Like, literally after about 20 seconds, you will notice the vanilla, and it stays with the fragrance all the way through. As it starts to settle, that woodsy side of this fragrance, it does tame down, the smoky quality calms down, and then in comes a rosy, herbal facet that lingers in the back. That is coming from the geranium. I do get some leathery undertones with this fragrance, a little bit balsamic, rich, sugary sweet. It's a great scent, and it will last you all day until the evening. I would not really wear this to the office. You will offend someone. If you do, I would do a little spray on the back of your neck, and that is as far as I would go with this fragrance. It is very strong. I'm going to say it again. If you try and spray this like a normal fragrance, 5 to 7 sprays, people around you are going to be in trouble. I think it is that strong. I know it is that strong. But anyway, that is Amir Al Oud Intense Oud from the House of Lattafa. £20 for that. Worth it. Now, this has been in a few lists before, and it's going to continue to be in strong fragrance lists, beast mode lists, because it's a beast mode. The quality of the juice is definitely there. And this is the smallest bottle on this list, and it's probably one of the strongest fragrances on this list. It is Byzantine Amber from Francesca Bian. I've had this fragrance for a little while now, and look, when I wear this, I do 1 to 2 little sprays, and that is it. I might do 1 full spray or a couple little half sprays. That is all you need. I'm not even going to bother spraying it, because this thing overpowers everything, or it will overpower everything that I've sprayed. Now, you've got bergamot, cinnamon, geranium, benzoin, labdanum, frankincense, leather, styrax and ambergris. There is really no freshness to this fragrance. It opens up warm, thick, beefy. It's got this spicy quality to it coming from the cinnamon, but with this straight away, you're getting leather, you're getting resins. As this dries down, the leather at first comes across a bit rugged and rough. Not the way it's blended, not the way it's blended. I think it's meant to come across that way. But that leather does settle down, but it's there all the way through the fragrance, like a black, dark leather. That is the only way that I can describe it. It's not no soft, suede undertone. It is strong. But the styrax, the labdanum, all this is what creates this thickness, this resinous quality. It's smoky. To me, this is for certain occasions. Like, let's say if you're going to a party and you're going to be outside underneath a marquee and it's a bit cooler outside, you can wear this fragrance. Then I would only do 2 sprays, and that is being outside. I would not touch this with a barge pole in warmer weather. I know I say wear what you want when you want, but this would it'd just be too much. You'll choke yourself out, you'll choke out everybody around you, but the scent is beautiful. Like, even though it's beastly and strong and dense and resinous and thick and smoky, it is a beautiful fragrance. But to me, this is an acquired taste. Not everybody is going to gravitate towards a fragrance like this. I mean, look at the colour of the juice. Thick, even the juice looks resinous, and it is. But anyway, that is Byzantine Amber from Francesca Bian. You have to enjoy smoky, leathery, resinous fragrances to enjoy this fragrance, but it is beastly. It really is, and it deserves to be on this list. 30ml bottles. I believe these are extrait to parfum, and it behaves like one. Now I'm finishing off with a newer fragrance to my collection. Unique Luxuries Coute is newer to my collection, and so is this bad boy. I done an update review on this the other day and spoke very highly of this one as well. This needs to be explored. It is coming from the house of Lorenzo Pagani. It is Vampire Rum. What a stunning piece of work this is. It's dark, sexy, gothic, sweet, boozy. We'll get into it. The atomizers ain't bad either. Not pressurised, but they do give out. This is going on skin. I ain't wasting this on test strip. Hell no. Look, they do give out a little bit of juice. And that, in fact, is an owl head on the cap. Someone commented the other day saying, is that a bat head on the cap? And on the bottle, it's an owl head with bat wings. And on the cap, it is a bat. And on the cap, it is an owl's head. But we're going to get straight into it. You've got bourbon vanilla, Madagascan vanilla, Tahitian vanilla, normal vanilla, rum, tonka bean, vanilla of the Vanilla Islands, loads of vanilla, white flowers, caramel, patchouli, agarwood, oud, patchouli leaf, oak barrel rum, black vanilla husk. So it's got 2 accords of rum, 5 or 6 accords or different accords of vanilla, or different types of vanilla, I should say. This thing opens up sweet, rich, a little bit dark, but very vanillic, as you can guess. But with this, you've got the rum sitting behind the vanilla. After a few minutes, the patchouli comes through and it brings in this chocolatey aroma. Now, it's vanilla, patchouli and rum. To me, or on my skin, the rum is always lingering in the back. But when that patchouli comes in, after a minute or so, then this caramelised vanilla aroma arises, if I'm pronouncing that right or saying that right. And that is the caramel mixing in with the vanilla and mixing in with the patchouli, and they all blend in together. The rum is sweet, the patchouli is sweet, the vanilla's sweet, the caramel, it's sweet. You do get a little bit of a woodsy undertone with this fragrance coming from the oud. The fragrance does darken as it settles. That is the fragrance in a nutshell. Waxy, powdery, sweet, sexy, dark. I said it in my update review. This will be great for date nights, or if you're going out. To me, this is unisex, leaning a little bit masculine. Only slightly, because of the way that oud comes through. Not funky or animalic, but it gives this an ever so slight masculine touch. That's what I think anyway. You watching this might think, no, it doesn't, but I do. So it's unisex, leaning slightly masculine, but a female, you can pull this off, no problem. But date nights, this would be fantastic for. If you're going out on the pool and you want to smell sexy, wear vampire rum. If you're indoors with your other half and you want to have a little bit of sexy time, if you know what I'm saying, put 1 or 2 sprays of this on. It's irresistible. I think it's that good. But anyway, vampire rum, long lasting, on clothes for days, definitely deserves to be on this list. And the blend is so smooth. But anyway, that is vampire rum from Lorenzo Pagani. Fantastic scent. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is 10 Beastmode long lasting fragrances. I tried to put some inexpensive ones on the list. I know there's some more expensive ones on the list. There's 1 or 2 designers. I just didn't want to put all niche, all completely expensive fragrances where people can watch it and they're like, well, I can't even afford that. So I always try and think of everyone. I always try and think about the prices, you know. That's just the way I like to do things. And like I say, there is other ones that I could have put on this list, but I'm happy with these. Some of these you can find at discounters. You've got the unique luxury code to use if you're interested in the Coute fragrance. That will give you 15% off. Lorenzo Pagani, them fragrances are £130 in the UK. They are worth every penny. 50ml extract to parfum. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop waffling on because I could sit here for hours and just talk S. And I'm not gonna. Let me know which ones you own out of these. Which ones have you tried out of these? Which ones are you interested out of these? I appreciate everybody's support. And remember, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. And I will see you lot on the next one. Cheers.